Hi, this is Dean Gonsowski with Clearwell Systems. I'm here with John Loveland from Navigant Consulting, and we just did a panel on e-discovery defensibility at the Masters Conference. And John, maybe you could share with the audience some of your sort of key takeaways for folks who want to make their discovery process more defensible.
Yeah, I found it interesting. So on the panel, along with me, were a lawyer who's in-house at Sprint, and then someone who's in-house at a law firm providing litigation support services. And I think that there was pretty good consensus, surprisingly, on the different aspects of defensibility and sort of what steps companies can take and lawyers can take. One of them is clearly collaboration. Collaboration with the other side. Not only is it being advocated in case law and the Sedona working group and things like that, but it's also good practice in that if parties agree on the steps in a process, it's likely to make that process more defensible. In my experience is once parties have agreed, very rarely do judges interfere with the agreement.
You can agree to even a suboptimal process, but if there's agreement...
That's right. If there's agreement, the judges are likely to not likely to interfere. The other one was transparency in the process, and actually a great question from the audience is about sort of which aspects of EDRM should transparency exist, and I think the sort of resounding answer was all aspects.
Right.
And the more transparent you are in the steps you take in the discovery process, that provides more information to the other side, raise objections early on in the process, and for you to collaborate on what additional measures should be taken. But also shows it's a demonstration of good faith, and I think especially in court. The other area that's kind of near and dear to my heart, just because I've been involved in so many of these issues, is the need for preservation. Regardless of whether or not the data is actually ever looked at, reviewed, produced, what have you, if you don't preserve something, you're not going to have the ability to go back and preserve it later.
Right, because you can always go back.
You can always go back. Right, that's right. So those were sort of three key takeaways from my perspective, I thought. And then there were some others I thought that were interesting around sort of the different principles of, and I think you termed it sort of get out of jail free cards. What are the steps that one can take that would ensure that sanctions motions don't occur and things like that. And I think a lot of that revolved around adhering to best practices, adhering to case law that's out there, really being educated about the old process, and especially in your development of the process that you take from the discovery.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean.